Hello, this is Reflective Sky Media, and welcome back to our Rainbow Rush Devlog series. The first thing I implemented since last time was the inking mechanic. In Rainbow Rush, being inked is a condition in which if Marcus falls into ink, his HP slowly decreases. He can't change color, and he ends up erasing color while like this. The only way to fix this is to find a water source and wash off. Next, I added the paint costs, which make Marcus use a ping whenever he colors blocks or uses his dash or shooting powers. Nothing too fancy, think the weapons in Mega Man. Up next, I did the minimap. This would be easy for most people, but unfortunately, I wasn't most people. I didn't know anything about viewports at the time, so this ended up taking me a while. That's when I realized that all I needed to do is to make the minimap's viewport the same as the game's. Once I figured that out, though, it was smooth sailing from there. I also did add a thing to keep count of how many of each color blocks there are, but that's something that'll become important later. Oh, remember those boxes you break? Yeah, now they explode into wooden pieces when you break them. Just a little juicing. Speaking of juicing, Marcus now leaves behind a ghost trail whenever dashing and pounding. Again, nothing too fancy, just leaving behind a still image and having it fade after a few seconds. Remember how Apocalypse happened in the story? Yeah, a bunch of blobs are being held prisoner now. But you can save them by breaking them out and coloring them to give them back their energy. And they'll help you color things along the way too. Don't just make them color everything though, you're the one who's destined to save the world, and plus you're much faster than them anyway. Up next, I created a door. The door just allows you to enter into the next area once you've colored enough things. Oh, what's all this? It's the first level, so there's a lot to explain. First off, why is most of it monochrome? Well, I thought it would be a cool idea to have a monochrome shader, and as you progress through the level, you see more and more color. Shout out to my friend Serena for the idea, by the way. Another thing to explain is, I decided to add a layer of colorblind friendliness to the colorable blocks and make them release sparks when they're colored. While working on level 1, I decided to work on a dialogue system, allowing the text to continue in a block instead of one long line using the auto-wrap feature. I also made it obvious to the player who you can talk to by adding those little thought bubbles, in-track bubbles. Afterwards, I created a little encounter system just to help the player, just something that tells the player about the new thing they find, like the spring green power-up. The last thing I'd like to show you before we wrap up here is the little victory animation that I gave Marcus. Look how happy he is to have made it. And once that's complete, it'll show you how much of the level you've colored. That's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching, and make sure to like, comment, and subscribe.